sorry can just be used in any moment.
A little annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be sorry, just be on time.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Lifestyle Lessons. From the Sidekick, this is staff writer Neev Chickermane.
And Hiral Patel.
And today, we're going to be investigating the cause of over-apologizing, why so many people struggle with it, and how to prevent it. Today, we're joined by Coppell High School American Sign Language teacher and Hope Squad advisor Delosha Payne.
Hi, Ms. D. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So today we wanted to talk about over-apologizing and kind of why people do it and why it's not such a great thing to do. So I just wanted to ask you, why do you think people over-apologize?
I think a lot of the times the reason why people do over-apologize is because they don't know what else to say. I think sometimes it's used as a space filler in a conversation, or sometimes the apology is not used correctly, so to speak.
Yeah, I kind of relate because I'm the type of person to over-apologize as well because I can't stand awkward silence. Like, if I'm sitting there and nobody's saying anything, I'll be like, so really sorry about that, guys, if I made you uncomfortable or something like that. Like,
Yeah, I also relate to that because I feel like often when I do things, maybe they'll inconvenience others, and I have to just make sure that they don't feel offended or hurt by my actions, and I just apologize even when really unnecessary.
Yeah,
a lot of it comes from overthinking as well.
I can agree with that. I think when I think about a particular student that I have who does over-apologize, and a lot of the times it's, like you said, not to offend, or, just there's this moment of awkward silence. And so, yeah, they throw out that, well, I'm so sorry. And it's, you don't have to be sorry, or you don't have to apologize. It's just what it is.
That makes a lot of sense. And then when we look at the negative effects of over apologizing as well, I feel like it makes you feel kind of inferior. It's because I just don't feel confident in myself. It's especially when I'm around people I don't really know and I have to talk to them. Even when I'm doing interviews for something like Sidekick, when I'm trying to set up, it's like sorry, even though we have to wait a couple of minutes and it's not that big of a deal.
Especially if it's not your fault. I like that you use the word inferior, because as an educator watching students and seeing people that do over apologize, I feel like it does kind of give them an inferior position to whoever they're working with when it's not necessary. We're going to encounter things that are not in our control, and so why are you sorry for it? What did you do? There's nothing you could do to fix or remedy it. So it's not your fault. Like today, we were waiting on you to come, and instead of you coming in to say sorry, it could have been the buses were running late. I hope I didn't waste your time too much. Just really being direct and explaining what's going on instead of saying, I'm sorry, because we can't control everything. I think apologies need to be genuine. And when you are constantly saying, I'm sorry, then it kind of takes the genuineness out of it.
I feel like it gets a little annoying sometimes. Yeah. I've also been on the other end of it. And it's not to be rude, but it's also if I say it's not a big deal, I'm going to be honest with you. It goes back to the point of being mature enough to be able to communicate when you're annoyed and when you really want an apology, I feel like.
Yeah, because there's a certain point where just apologizing reaches the limit, and then it reaches the limit where it's not genuine anymore.
One of the things that, I'll hear kids, they'll say, I'm sorry. And I'll always tell them, don't be sorry, be something else. So for example, if a kid is late with their homework and they're like, I'm sorry, I was late. Don't be sorry, just be on time. Instead of them, because I don't always need an apology, I need to understand what's going on as a teacher. So, and I'll be honest, I hate it when kids say, or people say, I'm sorry. Because in my mind, I don't think you're sorry. Now, apologetic is different, but when I think of the word sorry, I think of it in terms of no good. So I think you are good. You just have an error that you made. And so I apologize versus I'm sorry, I think is a better way to apologize.
Yeah, I like what you said about that. Because sorry can just be used in any moment where you're just trying to pass something off. You've done something, you're just oh, sorry. You're trying to put it to the side. But being truly apologetic is acknowledging what you've done and really being accountable for what you've done. And my mom also tells me a lot about that too, to not say sorry, just take like take hold of your actions and know what you're doing and be like confident in what you're doing. And if you've made the wrong decision, then like make sure you know what to not do next time.
Yeah, own up to it. For me, as a person, not just a teacher, but as a person, accountability is huge for me. Accountability over myself, accountability from others. And so instead of you saying, I'm sorry, I don't want that. And if a kid is doing something in my classroom to another kid, I will often have them say, I apologize for da 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 da. And what are we going to do to rectify it? So I won't do that again. Or, I'll try to remember that that's something you don't like, instead of just saying I'm sorry and we move on. Because sorry is just words. We want some actions too.
And I think that's a great way to look at it, because I feel like even my mom tells me, like, if I forget to do something, like, sorry isn't enough. You can say sorry so many times, but still not fix what you've done. Yeah. You should take action for whatever you've done wrong. If that makes sense.
That goes back to like actions speak louder than words. Like you were saying, until you can apologize or say sorry however many times, but until like you actually put those words into action, you actually try to rectify your actions and like understand what you've done wrong, there's no meaning behind those words. It's kind of just like like you were saying, a filler word.
Absolutely. I'll have kids in my class that, I'll say, hey, you're talking too much, cut that out. And they'll say, I'm sorry. And I'll tell them, no, you're not, because you're gonna do it again. So don't tell me you're sorry. Instead, let's just try to fix that. Let's not talk so much, or, just be quiet altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think also just knowing being able to acknowledge when you've truly done something wrong, I feel like, because sometimes it's just like a minor inconvenience. Like, you don't need to, it's really not that deep, I feel like.
Yeah.
So once again, that goes back to my previous point of communication. We have to be able to communicate with each other when we're really hurt, or like, sometimes we don't want to sorry, we just want you to fix what you've done.
Right.
And that would be better than you just telling me I'm sorry and then not doing anything about it.
Acknowledge it and fix it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so how can people like work to control just over apologizing?
I would think, in order to control the over apologizing, first of all, be mindful of what you're doing, why you're doing it. Sometimes we can't help but to inconvenience people, not because of what we're doing, but the world, life be lifing, as we like to say. And so, don't say I'm sorry. If you need to truly be apologetic, say I apologize. And like we've said before, acknowledge what the issue is. Don't apologize for things that you need from people, and then move on from it.
In today's episode, we spoke with Coppell High School American Sign Language teacher and Hope Squad advisor Delosha Payne.
And we learned about the negative impacts of over-apologizing and what to do instead.
From the Sidekick, this is staff writer Neev Chickermane
and Hiral Patel.
Thank you for listening to Lifestyle Lessons.